So, after I got saved and got baptized in the Holy Spirit and that whole ending of the story, that testimony was originally created for speaking to my church. And I had some kind of instructions not to really include much about my ex-husband because he had went to that church. We got married in that church, and we all knew, they all knew him. So I'm going to kind of pick up there. I was not sold on the fact that I was supposed to marry him, okay? I was not physically attracted to him, which bothered me. So it was very easy to not have sex with him and do it the correct way because I wasn't physically attracted to him. I didn't feel as if he really truly accepted my kids, which is a struggle that I think a lot of women have. There was that. We didn't go out on many dates. We tried to. We went to some Christian rap concerts and, went out to eat from here and there. And one time we took a trip to Florida with my sister and her husband. But, we didn't live together. We didn't have sex. I think I kissed him a total of 3 times before we got married. So he did come over once a week, every Saturday, and babysat my kids so that they could try to develop a relationship. My oldest son did not necessarily care for him, which bothered me, but I assured him that this was God's plan, which I now feel, makes him insecure about things of the Lord because I convinced him that it was, and I think he thought it wasn't. Nonetheless, I married him on my birthday, May 28th, 2011. I can remember crying the night before the wedding because I knew that I had to have sex with him. And as embarrassing as that sounds, it's the truth. I was not in love with him. I just felt that if I obeyed what I thought God wanted me to do, that he would bless me with that desire for him, that love for him, that passion for him. I just, for some reason, thought it was going to happen on the wedding night or something. I don't know. Anyways, so we got married. Our wedding was beautiful. A friend of mine from work is the most giving person I know, which I will talk about her later. But her name is Kathy, and she's wonderful, and she helped me set up my whole wedding, along with a bunch of ladies from church. Everybody chipped in. Somebody offered up the cake. Somebody offered up the photography. It was literally just a blessed wedding. Everybody blessed us, all of our friends. And it was beautiful. But I wasn't happy, and I wasn't sold. But either way it goes, we got married and then moved 2 doors down from where I had originally moved in with John, where that whole microwave, throwing away fasting session, where all that happened. We moved 2 doors down from there into a 3-bedroom apartment with a washer and dryer. Everything was pretty cool at first, it's fun at the beginning. You like the person, you want to hang out with them, everything's fine. And then the longer you live with them, the more you pick up on their habits and the more you start picking on what they do. And I realized that it really wasn't his way to be like a clean, on top of things person, which is how I am. And I could tell it was stressing him out. He started to not want to do things, started to not want to go places, he was too tired, blah, blah, blah. And I started to notice a complete change in him. One day, I found a pill on the floor and confronted him about it. And at the time, he had worked at a place where people who get out of prison come to this house, and he helps them transition into society. So he told me it was one of their pills that he must have forgotten to give to him, give to the client or whatever, and I kind of just dismissed it. Then things started coming in the mail that he wasn't opening. He was just putting them all in a pile, and it just made me suspicious, so I decided to go through it. And I found out that he did not have a driver's license. He made $26,000 a year. He owed the government money for past, unemployment. He got unemployment when he wasn't supposed to. and just all these lies, okay? So when I originally met him, he told me that he worked for Target Corporation and made $80,000 a year, and that he was going to school to be a pastor, and he had already graduated with a 4-year degree in, I forget whatever city it was, some other city, Atlanta maybe. No, I don't know. Anyways, he basically I was finding out little by little that he lied to me about everything. And, you know, I got pregnant shortly after we got married. And that's when things really started to get weird. We went into a reunion for like my family Christmas, and I was probably 8.5 months pregnant. I was like right before my due date, and I started going into labor there at the hotel. I was up all night having contractions. We drove straight home the next day, and I had him that day. Jeremiah James was born on March 19th of 2012. After, I left the hospital, everything was fine in the hospital. I was trying to teach the guy how to change a diaper correctly and, whatever. He didn't know a lot about being a father. This was his first real son. And so after we left the hospital, we went to Target. They had given me some pain medication because of some issues that I had with my uterus, and I asked him to go in and get it for me. And he went and got it. We went home, unpacked, whatever, and something told me to count the pills. I have no idea. I have never counted pills in my life, looked at how many someone gave me or whatever it was. Just came from the pharmacy. I have no idea why I counted it, but I did, okay? Because I already found that one pill on the floor, and I don't know, I just counted them, and there was some missing. And I confronted him, and he lied and said, I have no idea what you're talking about. You are tripping, and I didn't take those. The pharmacy must have shorted you. And so I called the pharmacy and asked them, and they said, yeah, really, there's nothing we could do. Sorry, he took them. But instead of telling Kenny that, I told him that they were going to look at the cameras and call me back. Well, then, of course, he told me the truth, that he had taken the pills. And I asked why, and he said, his back was hurting, blah, blah, blah. I asked him if he was taking other pills. He then showed me all kinds of stuff that, he had been taking, but they were almost gone, and he assured me that he was done with it after those were gone. Long story short, a while after we brought Jeremiah home, there was a huge incident a night that I went to prayer, and I'll pick up again there in a moment.